What is up, guys? Yes, HMU! Woo! Guys, tonight we have an amazing class. We have literally the legendary audience builder, James Brinkerhoff here. This man has, him and his partner has built almost 1 million people, 989,000 followers in the cannabis niche, wrote over 3,000 blog posts, and all I can say is James.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. I'm happy to be here. It's nice to be here, Jeff. I'm glad you're putting this course together, and I think it's good. So I wanted to come in here and just add as much value as I could to your audience, and see if we could extract some golden nuggets. I've been down in the mines mining all day long, and we can try to pull some golden nuggets out and get some actionable steps for these guys to get out there and kick some butt out there. And I'm super excited right now because the hemp industry is like exploding, and it's just like you don't even have to know how to surf. You just like keep afloat, and you're gonna freaking ride it all the way to the beach. So we're in the middle of like some really cool times. I'm excited for that. I think it's really cool that people are interested in marketing hemp and cannabis. And I've been in the cannabis industry a long time, since I was a kid. I still feel like a kid, but I'm about to cross 43, I think, or 44. Wow. And I've been in the cannabis industry since I was 16. And, it's just been a few years I got digital. I've really been in like the cultivation and the business side. I had dispensaries in California and distribution and manufacturing, and I was making hashish a long time ago, and taking it to, back in the early, in the late 90s and early 2000s in California, it was Proposition 215. It was like the first legislation to legalize medical cannabis, and they wouldn't let us have companies, but we could have like not-for-profits. So everybody kind of hid out underneath these umbrellas of not-for-profit, and we look back today and call it the gray area. Because there was no real law, but everyone was just kind of like, hey, why don't you donate and I'll give you all this herb and I'll call it a donation. So that's how we ran. A lot of the early dispensaries were called donations, and they said suggested donation, $50 an eighth.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you don't donate, you don't get anything. But like,
dude,
but it was, yeah. So they called it a not-for-profit, and I kind of made my ranks up from the beginning. I used to run around in the hills of Humboldt and run around in the woods, and I was kind of like a grunt worker for some of these bigger growers and these big ranches. So I started growing, like carrying bags of dirt and digging irrigation lines in the ground. And I worked my way all the way up until I got my own property and I started growing my own crops. Nice. I grew my own crops, and I'm like, how do I sell this stuff? What am I going to do? You know what I mean? I can't go to town and tell these people that I grew all this pot up in the mountain. So that's when the gear started going on in my head, and I'm like, I got to figure out a distribution and sales and marketing for this stuff.
Yeah. And
so that's when I started heading down to the city, to San Francisco, and I started connecting in with the other not-for-profit cannabis dispensaries and trying to make that connection for the supply chain, right, to get it from out of the mountains where a lot of the growers were. And learning about what these guys were liking, like the brands that they liked, the names, they were naming it all these strains. And I really saw from the city, being in the city, I was really able to learn all the advertising and marketing stuff and branding that goes along with this stuff. Because a lot of the culture, the people that are up in the mountains, they don't know shit about it. I mean, it's really like mountain folks, and there's like different kind of people that are just farmer, farm country folks. And so they didn't really know anything about branding. So that really sparked my mind to marketing and branding. And then as I grew older and I had a family and my kids grew up, I wanted to kind of get out of that gray area. And Colorado passed the first legal laws in 2009. So I moved my entire family from California to Colorado, and I started one of the first licensed cannabis facilities. That's when I really started really having to get into the marketing and sales and branding of all the products and stuff. And yeah, man, it's just been like a wild ride, and it's been like really tough because I study all the marketing stuff, and I've been through all the Russell Brunson stuff, but you just can't use all those tactics in the cannabis and hemp world. It's like It's like you think like regular funnels are hard, you know. It's like in regular traffic, like you got to do all this stuff and jump through hoops and then like kind of dodge here and then come over here and then, you know what I mean, to make it all work. So yeah, it's like a good experience to get into this niche. It's really tough to market in this niche online, you know, and even offline can be difficult. So anyway, we had our experiences through the dispensaries, and I really got to this place where I felt like I could impact the world more by kind of telling this story. And I had some mentors. I was taking my herb money and I was buying these masterminds with it. I was taking to these high level masterminds, and I finally got a mentor that told me, hey, you should not be looking at how to make money online. You should be trying to take this cannabis thing online. And like, that's going to be the new big thing, like in 5 years. So this is like 3 or 4 years ago. And so I started thinking, screw it. My whole life I've been secretive. I didn't want anybody to know what I was doing. I was way up in the mountains, you know, studying cannabis. I loved it. I was passionate about it. I was growing these big gardens. I was doing it for other people. I was setting up multiple properties in different parts of the, you know, different areas and stuff. I was really into it. And finally I got to Colorado with my legal business, but I could only sell to like 10,000. You know, I was capped out to who I could affect and whose lives I could affect. And so with this mentor talking to me about going online, and then with the restrictions in my brick and mortar business, I ended up selling the cannabis licenses, and I went into online publishing. Just started publishing articles and information, and then just doing memes on Facebook and building my big Facebook page, and it started going crazy. Like it started taking off. So
oh, that is amazing. All right, so I'm going to dive into some questions because I want to know more how you did that. And so we have some comments in here. Kyle says he's so stoked for this. Angel says he wants to be like James.
Well, you probably don't want to. You probably want to have a few less kids than James.
A few less kids. How many kids do you have?
I got 4.
You have 4 kids. And let me ask you, as a dad, this is like before we even get started, I'm a father also. I love to blaze it up. How is it like being a father in the world of cannabis?
I think I'm the coolest dad in the world.
Yes. Oh, dude, that's so cool.
But my kids, like sometimes they're like kind of squinting at me and they think I'm crazy, but I kind of am, right? I'm like, I kind of am. And I'm not like the dad that like the rest of kids at school are.
Yeah.
Like, they get up and they go to work and they, you know, then my kids were raised like up in Northern California, like way out in the country. So they were raised around like the whole culture of it. So,
wow.
You know, and now they live in the suburbs in the city and they're going to schools and everything. And so they're all kind of like giving me that eye once in a while. Like, put your weed away, Dad. My friends are coming over.
Put your weed away.
Yeah. So I try to do my best. And keep it clean around everybody. But yeah, I'm kind of like the wild child in the family. Wow.
Very cool. That's very crazy, man. That's awesome. It gives me inspiration as a father. So I appreciate that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so, we're going to dive in. I have some interview questions. And so you currently, right now, I looked at your page, you have 989,000 followers just on one single Facebook page. That is just an astronomical number. But before like anyone thinks it's like you just did that overnight, how long have you been doing this? Like how long have you actually been working on that page and something to actually create like that? How long?
It's been almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. So it's 3 years to get that amount of followers.
Yeah.
What? That's amazing. Oh man, if I started today, 3 years from now, I could be like you. Woo! And I could even have another child.
You got 3?
I got 3.
Yeah. No, there's hope for you.
Yeah. Oh, I hope my wife's watching this. She's gonna love that comment. All right. So you've been doing this for 3 years, and you kind of briefly touched on it. And you said your mentor kind of nudged you to get started in this. What really made you get started, but take that massive action? Like when you got started, what did you do to get started? I guess that's a better question.
Well, I started this page, Facebook page, and it's not just like an ordinary business page. It's a community, and the community is kind of wrapped around a cause. So what a lot of people do wrong is they try to build a brand, on Facebook, and that's not the right way to do it. So if people are telling you to build a brand on Facebook, well, there's a way to build your brand, but it's not by like being all branded up on. It's really about joining the community and being part of like a passion, being part of something that people are go crazy about. You look at some of these pages like The Walking Dead, or Donald Trump, or I Love Yoga. Or there's ones like vegans and gluten free, where people are just crazy passionate about it. You know what I mean? So this is kind of what I learned from my Facebook mentor, who does about 10x what I do, has about 10 to 20 million across multiple pages, pushes them all to one blog and gets like millions of visitors every month, and can distribute multiple offers to multiple niches on one blog. So anyway, that's a little fun tidbit about him. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm just focusing on this one tiny little channel, right? But anyway, to start, really, it's just wrapping it around the passion. So not coming out there and saying, hey, I'm James and Sonia's CBD company, buy our products. It's legalize it. Let's legalize it. What about our freedoms? Talk about the passions. Why? What's our reason why? Let's talk about our whys on Facebook. And then that gets everybody going, yeah, me too. That's my why too. Or I've got this problem. I use it for that too. And so people start kind of going crazy over that stuff. And then it's like, you start casting stones, like, why is Big Pharma doing this to all of us? And everyone's like, yeah, it's us against them. You know what I mean? So it's like you start building around the passion, and you lead with value before you ever ask for anything back. Does that make sense?
That totally does. It totally does. And one of the questions is, what value do you give to your followers to keep them so engaged? And you kind of just answered that question very well. But maybe that's so amazing. So maybe we could answer that again. Like, so what value do you give to your followers to keep them so engaged and loyal? Like, how did you come up with that? That is so genius.
I didn't come up with it, actually. I was just like the student ready to learn. Oh, but videos is really what they want. Okay. I mean, content is what they want. It's a content machine. And if you catch yourself scrolling through Facebook, if you can try to like, after this video, you can think about it. You can try to like catch yourself, like what's catching you when you're scrolling, like what do you stop and look at? When you're looking at YouTube, like what are the things, and then kind of catch yourself and be like, oh yeah, that's what's the most catching thing. That's not why you're buying. No, it's some kind of story that's attracting you, and you're getting on somebody's email list and they sell to you 3 days later, because you made some kind of emotional connection to the story.
Wow.
And then when the emails keep following up, you got to think psychologically wise, you're like, oh, I was really connected to that guy's story. Now what is he selling? And then you go to their landing page a couple times. And if the email good enough, maybe they'll keep you for 10 days. And if it's a really good offer, you're going to buy it by like the end of it maybe. But you'll at least be on his list, and then you'll check out the next piece of content.
Wow.
So you got to think, if you're social media marketing, we're talking about, you brought me on here to talk about building audiences on social. And I don't really know much about Google, except for I've got a pixel that I build, and I just build this pixel so I can remarket on Google. I don't really know much about it, but on social, people aren't coming here to buy stuff. People are coming here to brag about what they bought, or to ask questions about if they think they're buying something. They're like talking to somebody about, what do you guys think about this? Like, think about maybe some of your students or followers that are in the ClickFunnels group. Think about what people are posting in there.
Yeah. Like a lot of them, they're asking what are funnels, or like can I get a CBD funnel, or something. That's what I find. That's what I interact with.
Yeah, or who makes, I got ripped off from the last guy. Who makes the best funnels?
Who makes the best funnels,
Or I got ripped off from the last traffic. Where do I get solo ads from that converts?
Yeah.
And then people chime in and say, you get them from here.
Yeah.
But people aren't just posting their links all over. You know what I mean? And then people are saying, private message me and I'll get you off this channel and I'll get you into a sales channel. So one thing that people really mess up is that social, the news feed is not a sales channel. Shouldn't be trying to sell there. Should be trying to tell your story and your content and get people off of Facebook as soon as you can. And think about, how am I going to sell them in Messenger and how am I going to sell them in email?
Wow.
and get them to like want to like you kind of leave a cliffhanger at the end of the story with your call to action. Which is like, to find out more, I'll send you an email in a couple of days. I got to go right now, you know, blah, blah, blah. I got to go and, you know, opt in here and I'll send you the rest of the story or whatever it is, right? And then they're like, fuck, I want to hear the rest of the story, or I want to get the guy's cheat sheet, or I want to figure out the 4 best strains for falling asleep, or I want to do, and then you become, all of a sudden, you know, you create a lead magnet, like whatever your product is. If you're selling HempWorks and you want to target people that don't sleep at night, you package up your own brand in front of it. Like, here's my report on sleep, or here's 5 videos I made about how to get sleep, or here's my checklist to get sleep.
Yeah.
And then they get some value from you and they're like, oh shit, I got all this value from Jeff. And then the next thing they're like, well, Jeff, what product should I use? So by then, you know, that's where you bring in HempWorks. And they're like, of course I'm going to buy HempWorks, because Jeff just gave me all this value on like this cool free report, this checklist, this video that I got from him. He told me some cool story that got me emotionally connected, because he did this Facebook Live where he was telling about his grandma and how she was using the CBD oil that he gave her. And there's this CBN in there. And the CBN is what makes you fall asleep. That's the cannabinoid that makes you fall asleep, and blah, blah, blah. Not all CBD oils are created equal. And if you want to find out more about the one I gave my grandma and got her to sleep, just opt in here and I'll send you an email tomorrow. Just little things like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Somebody says, I have my notebook ready. I hope they transcribe that, because that was so amazing.
Yeah, because you never want to, you know, push your link out front on social, really.
Yeah. Like, kind of, it's like, keep it sacred, but also like build that audience. Like, you have that connection. You know, one of the other questions somebody asked is, you know, what percentage of your audience engages with your guys' paid content? Or your page content, not your paid content, your pages.
Oh, it's probably like 10%.
10%, wow.
Yeah, and that's pretty big for, you know, a lot of people. It's like 4%, 5%.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was looking at all your videos, like that's like a few thousand views, like 11,000, 3,000 to 11,000 video views on every single video. And I'm like, dude, that's a lot of eyeballs when you realize that that was 7 seconds of a video.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, we have millions of video views. We had one video do like 3.5 million, I think.
Wow. That's amazing.
So we have a lot of video. Video is the best, really. If you got a talent with a video, if you can partner with somebody that can create video, that's where you're going to make authentic connections with people. And that's what it's all about on Instagram and Facebook, is making authentic connections. People are tired of people that are hiding behind stuff and not, you know, acting too flossy. You know, I don't know. I think, and that's what I'm hearing more and more, is that people crave authenticity.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and just lead with a lot of value, and then sell your stuff on the back end, because they're going to keep coming at you now. Like where I've got it now, when you get to my level, now I don't even have to, I've got inboxes, I've got inbound mark. People are asking me for stuff like all day long.
Wow.
And, you know, I don't even have to like promote anything. They're already asking me, what CBD product should I use? They're asking me, how do I get my medical cannabis card? They're asking me, where should I put my money into cannabis investments? They're asking me, where do I get traffic for cannabis? So I've got like multiple different avatars and revenue streams from this one audience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's what my mentor told me was going to happen. He's like, if you could just own the race course that everybody's kind of like wants to get into, then you're going to have this kind of platform where you're going to have all this deal flow coming through. And sure enough, but it was kind of hell. It was kind of hell getting there. I mean, you know, you have to give and give and give. Like, we didn't even ask for money for months.
Wow.
You know, and we gave, and I paid Facebook too. I spent money on light campaigns. I was able to get light campaigns approved for advocacy. And so I did that for a while, and I was getting likes for like a penny, because the page was going viral. When you spend a little paid traffic and you're doing organic, it like turns into this like snowball that starts to like, and then you got like this passionate viral subject. So it just kind of just goes crazy.
Okay. So can we break down that what you just said? Okay. So one of the questions somebody has, like, how to promote on Facebook. Like, a lot of the people are asking about this. It sounds like you did it because you have a free traffic, which you're telling us is the videos that you're doing. But then you also have the paid aspect. How did you get page likes? How, like, I feel so like nervous to even turn on my page likes in fear that my whole account's going to get shut down. So how'd you do that? How'd you do that? Tell us that.
Well, because I started a page based on the community and advocacy.
Okay.
That makes sense? I started a business page, and when you sign up, you start a business page, and then it says what kind of page, you hit community.
Okay.
So you start a community page, then you write your description of the page, and it should be something around a passion. So let's say you've got CBD products, and you want to go after, people with insomnia. We've been talking about that. People that can't sleep. And you create some kind of, I don't know if there's a passion around that you would create. That might not be a good example. But for example, just cannabis in general and legalizing it was my passion. There's ones like yoga. People go crazy for it. Like I mentioned, there's ones like, and it'd be a page like I love yoga or I love paleo. And it's not like, James's paleo bars. It's I love paleo, and then you're targeting people to say, hey, if you love paleo, click like. And so you get a passion group, and when people start clicking like, then you're posting, and you start posting memes, articles, videos. You do a mix of that all day long. I post 7 times a day.
Wow.
So I post and sometimes more, like 2 videos and like 6 memes, but I'll post comedy. I'll post, controversy. I'll post videos, sprinkle in a little Facebook Live, and it just starts to go crazy.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like you're just tweaking and just hitting it from every fucking angle. It's like you're just like hitting that like algorithm, like you're just trying to tweak at it every way you can, right? And you're instigating the audience to comment below. But now you're not even supposed to. I don't know if you guys study Facebook, but they're telling us you're not supposed to say click like or click share. And you're not supposed to do like clickbait. You're not supposed to, in your videos, you're not supposed to say, hey, tag 5 people or click below or share this. Now they're saying they put an artificial intelligence on the video to where if you're doing clickbait, because they want people to authentically connect with one another and not just be selling their asses off on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you got to think about. Authentically connect with the audience. Okay, create unique content. This is where it's at, guys, whether you like it or not. If you're not good at doing it, then be a business person and spend some money on content. Have somebody else do it for you. Don't try to do it yourself, because you'll get bogged down. Do the piece that you're passionate about. Because if in this model, building authority through social media and blogging, it takes a little while, and it takes, consistency. We're pushing content every day. I'm posting seven posts every day for 3 years.
Wow.
Now I've got automated posting software, right? So I can schedule it all out, and I've got VAs that come in, and I got a graphic designer that makes all the memes, and then I go in and I approve it all, and I tell them, I make them videos, and I send them videos. Say I kind of want it like this. I like these. I like this. Keep it on this theme, and then they come back. I approve it, and then they put it all in the scheduler, and that thing just runs on schedule. And then I start to interject videos, and I'll put video memes. Okay, and one thing I'll do is I'll give you a link, Angel, to the automated software that I use.
Woo!
No problem.
Somebody asked, Angel asked, what automated software do you use? Like, that's a good question.
Yeah, there'll be links to all the stuff that I talk about in here after this
Nice.
This is done. We'll get all that together, and you can put it in your membership site or whatever you're doing.
What an added bonus. That's awesome. Thank
you. So what were we talking about? Well, I got a little bit ahead of myself, right? So we're talking about passions, but you could do I love yoga, and this is, if I was to do it again, let me give you guys some secret sauce right now.
Yes,
if I was to do it again, this is the nugget that's coming right now. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't do it around marijuana legalization. I would do it around like yoga or like some cool passionate health thing, or wherever you feel like your customers, the kind of people that you want to work with. Who's your avatar? What's your business about? Who are you coaching? Who are you selling physical products to? A passion around that. Maybe it's travel. Like I love travel, or like the millennial travel entrepreneur or something. And you could get a cool community going off that. And you could target people that like to travel. And then you could be like, okay, they like to travel. They're into my entrepreneurial shit. And then it's like, check out these products I use when I'm traveling and blah, blah, blah. And then you serve them up your opportunity later on after you've built up this passion base. So I hope that gives you guys, you know, some more ideas. If I was to go back, I might do I love yoga, or I love juicing, and do all this juicing stuff, everything about juicing videos, then be like, guess what I put in my juice? All this CBD, like every day. And there's a big business we can do out of it, you know? Yeah. And you don't have to worry about getting your ad shut down. You're not getting shut down. You're like, you're riding hard. You're cruising hard. You're building audiences out of people that you go in and target audiences like Fit Life TV. You go target people like, what's that, Cannoli, the guy that does green drink stuff, Drew Cannoli. You go in, you just target all those health guys and get people to like your passion page. And then you're like, I use green juice too. I use Drew Cannoli's True Greens too, but I put the CBD in there, man. And then you could be an affiliate for Drew Cannoli and sell your CBD all together in a bundle, and then just give them like a buy now button, send them into a messenger sequence, and just serve them up a buy now button in Messenger.
Wow. Okay.
So you guys, that's at least a 6-figure business right there.
Oh, dude, I love it. Oh, that is amazing. Okay, so you just kind of said a couple things. So we're looking at a couple different assets that you have built online, right? So you have 989,000 followers on Messenger. What other assets, like how are you making sure that if something ever changes, you don't lose that whole entire million people follower? You're building other assets. You just said a messenger bot. Like what else are you building to ensure that you have this long-term email list, sources of traffic? Like how are you doing this? Like what else are you
on my blog, I have a big pixel list on my blog, and then I have an email list that I'm building. And unfortunately, that's another thing. I would focus on email. That's one thing that I haven't done, that hasn't been my strength. Okay. And you know, right now I'm adding like 250 leads a day just from organic traffic. But I could have had an email list of 1 million people by now. And I could have set it up like from the beginning, just getting leads immediately. And I kind of did this as a kind of a passion project. And I had nothing to sell in the beginning because I couldn't sell weed. So and I wanted to be compliant, and I was just trying to figure it out. And I'm not really into CBD. I come from the cannabis world, and it's cool. It's like a big buzz and everything. And I think it's really cool now because it's legal, and it's not quite legal, but it's more accessible to everybody else. And we can tell the story because everyone is just everyone's kind of blackballing cannabis in a lot of ways. But so, yeah, like I said, I'd be email marketing, you know, and I mean, it just depends on what you got to kind of reverse engineer, and what's your end in mind? What's your outcome, right? Like I would suggest to everybody, have your own brand where, you know, if you're like in the HempWorks, or if you're you have these other companies, you direct sales, or you have affiliates from different other, you know, make sure that you kind of package that all inside of yourself. Maybe you're the brand, or you have a newsletter that you some kind of newsletter, affiliate newsletter or whatever, and that's your brand. So if one of those income streams goes down, if HempWorks, the FDA comes along, says, you know what, HempWorks, I don't like how the scheme is going. Yeah. And they just take the whole thing down. It happens all the time. Like just happens all the time. And boom, like HempWorks would be gone. And then, but you'd still have this big list, and you'd still be putting out your content, videos, memes, making people laugh. And they're like, oh, it wasn't his fault that HempWorks went down. They had some other kind of deal happening. What's the next thing, Jeff? What are we doing now? You know, and that's the way you want to do it. That's how all these super affiliates, that's how they all are, you know. And even some of them, they work with shady companies, and they go down, and people are still loyal. They still go back and buy the next opportunity and stuff. So all of this, I would just say that's kind of why it's cool to build your own Facebook page. If you want to use Facebook, or you want to use Instagram, pick a channel. If you like LinkedIn, you just pick your channel and just focus and build and go deep on that one. And, you know, get as many people in there through content. It'll be a lot cheaper for you to pay for advertising to get to content than it will to a landing page or to, you know, an offer page, you know. So if you could hold off on instant gratification and, you know, deliver content and be authentic with your people, then they'll trust you. And when you make the offer, it's going to be like, boom, sales. You don't have to try to perfect the ClickFunnels ain't going to do it for you. You know, you can have the ugliest funnel in the world. If they just saw your video, they're just trying to figure out how to buy from you, you know? So
where's the buy button? Yeah. Like, I don't care what funnel I have to go through. Just show me how to buy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is amazing. I love that. Okay, so let's see. And now, how do you craft? Here's another question that somebody asked: is how do you craft your perfect like customer avatar? Like, how do you know who you want to talk to, so you ultimately get your customers? So like, get customers. You know, how do you come up with the content to talk to them?
Well, I got a couple tools that I use that I go out there and I search like what's the most shared content online, right?
Okay.
Like you can use BuzzSumo. It's got a couple applications. I use another one. I'm going to put that link in there too. I'm going to give you all these links here. I was trying to look it up right here. Um, yeah, and so you can use a couple of these tools and kind of find out like what's the most shared post in the last 7 days.
Wow.
And you can type in keywords that's like, top 5 CBD products or, CBD for chronic pain. And then it'll pull up like, what's the most shared on Facebook, the most views. And then you start looking through that, or you go to YouTube in the search bar and you start typing in keywords, and then you'll see the videos pop up. And then you'll start trolling and clicking on all those videos, and then it'll take you into a web of all of those CBD videos and the most viewed and what angles they're talking about. And that's where the gold is, man. And then you just scroll down on YouTube and you'll see everybody's comments. And then you'll see everybody, what brands they like, who they're talking shit about, all that kind of stuff. And then you can come up with your own offer from there and be like, yeah, I know you're sick of HempWorks and you're sick of this, and I've got this brand new thing and it's going to take care of all those problems and all this crazy. So that's really looking through the search bars, a couple of tools. One of them is BuzzSumo. They're a little bit expensive. I got another one I'll share with you. I'll get you a link for that. Yeah, I use, and also in that social media tool that I use, Auto Poster, you can also find, it also sources content for you. So you can type keywords and it'll pull up all the blogs in our niche, right? So you'll look into that and then you'll start to see, it'll show you in that social thing, like all the engagement that's happening on different headlines. And so from there, you just go pull those headlines and you write another, your spin on it.
Wow. Okay. That is amazing. And is that how you guys have over like 3,000 blogs? Is that how you guys kind of created your blog content? Is that part of your guys' strategy or?
Yep. That's the strategy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the strategy. We research the keywords and then we write a blog post around it. What are people searching for online? What's like the most shared stuff on social? Kind of what's trending and what's going on right now. And so you better believe, like, soon as something happens with the FDA, I'm writing an article about it and publishing it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Or something happens with Donald Trump. I love Trump because he gets double traffic.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'll just like ride Trump forever because people are like, oh, I hate that guy, and I'm like, keep it like going up in the rankings, baby.
I'm creating a Trump page.
The more controversial, the better. Keep talking about me. Yeah, keep tagging me and talking about me online.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So it's like, so you ride, basically you do that. You ride other people's traffic. It's another traffic strategy. Ride off of their traffic. Talk about these big guys. Talk about, and what people are talking about, and then, and then take that and post it in your groups and get people talking about it. And then it starts to like go crazy, so. Yeah. We're going to do a master class of kind of, how to build an audience, how to build 1 million person audience that's begging to buy your stuff. It's kind of like the hook. We're going to do a master class. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe this year and the next 2 years. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm just happy to just like spit all this stuff out there. Then people can go back and rewind and watch this video. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just,
this is amazing. Like, I'm going to probably I'm going to watch this every time. Like, this is like worth HMU.
Yeah.
Like, like,
there's at least one 6-figure business idea.
Oh, this is beautiful. And so you've done so amazing. So you're going to send those links. Let me ask you, okay, so you personally, this will be one of the last few questions. What are your goals over the next, let's just say 2 to 3 years for you in this business?
Well, there's a couple programs I'm launching.
Okay.
One of them is a natural health coach certification where we take health practitioners and we arm them with all the tools to build a bigger, better business using CBD and cannabis products, health coaching, and the internet to build a business for themselves. We have like a piece of software that we're kind of building in. We have software and CBD products that we're building into that bundle. So I'm excited about that. We're also launching our cannabis focused mastermind. It's called the Emerald Circle.
Nice.
So we're super stoked about that. We have the first few members that we onboarded this past few weeks. We're stoked. Yeah. And we're stoked about it. We finally want to, after 25 years in the cannabis industry, I really want to give back, and I really want to share with more people and just get, I'm addicted to this publishing and the sharing of information. And I just feel like I reach so much more people, and I can only do so much in one day. But like, if I could do one of these videos every day, it could go out to thousands of people, then they go out there and talk about it. And it starts to go like, so I'm just like addicted. I'm addicted to that. I want to share with business owners how to get success. I want to highlight business owners on my page. I want to take my page from 1 million to like 3 to 5 million in the next 5 years. So that's kind of like my page goal. I want to like 5X. Yeah. And I'm going to branch out. I'm going to start going more to Pinterest and LinkedIn and YouTube. So yeah, I'm just going to morph out from like this. I got a couple partners coming on that want to like 10X me. This has been really small, me and my wife. We also do a lot of consulting. I'm also a founder of a cannabis company in Colorado. We're building like a $5 million greenhouse and manufacturing center. So I have a license. I have a cannabis license as well, like a brick and mortar license. And so I'm just like, and I have 4 kids. So it's like, I got a lot of stuff going on. Right. And we're about to bring CBD products to market.
Yeah.
So man, just get into it. Like, this is an awesome time. And, just wherever your passion is, you don't have to think it's not just one thing in this industry. There's got so many, it's food, it's fuel, it's fiber, it's medicine. There's all these people in the medical side. If that's what you're into, you can work with sick people that need this stuff, or you can work with, you can do all kinds of stuff in the health space. You can be in the farming if you're into agriculture, if you're into the agribusiness. There's a whole world of that to go and do. Then there's like what you're doing, Jeff, marketing. That's like, it's huge. And every single cannabis and hemp business needs marketing. And I'll tell you right now, because I got a lot of them coming to me and I don't even advertise. And they have a lot of problems marketing. There's a lot of problems to solve right now, at least while huge opportunity right now, while, it's still so restricted, only the people that are really savvy, you got to kind of work your way around to get it done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can charge a lot of money to solve these problems for people because they don't want to deal with it. So building audiences is massive. A lot of business owners don't want to deal with it. So learning that skill is really cool. And it doesn't end. We need tax people. We need accountants. I need social media managers, learning how to manage social media groups. Get a really good skill if that's one of your skill sets, manage groups, lead generation. Can you get opt-ins? Can you do, content? We need content like every day. The cannabis industry is starving for content. They're like voracious. I can't create enough content. Wow. So it's just, don't think it's one thing. It's so many different things, and really dig into what you're passionate about, because not everybody's going to be able to get a cannabis license like me. Like very few people are going to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
It's like an act of God, and who even knows, but that you can get involved. Like, you can get involved in social media marketing, you can get involved in, all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, dude, this is absolutely amazing. Like, this is so golden. I appreciate it. Okay, so now let me ask you, I'm going to drop a link below for this next question, because this will be our last question. But what is the next steps for anyone watching you if they want to take the next steps with you? What are the next steps that I could send them and direct your way?
Let's just put a link together. I'll put my personal Facebook. People can send me a message right now. I'm just getting ready to roll out some more programs. So, you can post my links to my Facebook page. People can follow along, and links to my group. They can follow along and catch me there. My Messenger bot, I'm always communicating through Messenger. So we'll just post all those links. You can subscribe to my stuff, and then you'll get notified when the big things start to happen, the movements start to happen. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and hopefully within the next like 60 to 90 days, I'm gonna have more assets out online where people can kind of, find a better home there.
That's amazing. Wow.
It takes a lot of work, man. This is like
It
to build
does.
build all these assets up, and then to have them working together and linking right, and
It's so amazing.
talking, yeah, and like talking to each other. Then so there is quite a few moving parts in it all, and you
Yeah.
have to be prepared to like have that kind of mind to posting all this creativity and content. But then you have to kind of be mechanical and figure out how to get the people off the Facebook page, and then be marketing through email while you're like creating content over here to and there's a lot of kind of and then you're going on and doing Facebook lives and doing calls to action to get into the funnel. And so, you really have it, it's cool to work with the team to be able to like, bounce stuff off each other. Cause there's a lot going on when you build a content creation machine, but I tell you, it's really worth it. And it's setting me free to where, I can travel, and I get Facebook Messenger inbounds, like leads that just come in and they need help with this and help with that. And I don't have to be at home, or I can take my kids to school. So it's providing, quite a bit of freedom for me now. And it took, about a year, I would say 18 months before I really started to see the fruits. So you have to be willing. And that's what my mentor told me, is like, this is the long play where you win in the end. Like the short play is like you make a little cash. You do a bunch of direct response and spend a bunch of money on ads. The long-term play is become an authority and have people like traffic on command, build your lists, and people, are essentially continue to read your content. When you're ready to offer them the sale, they're buying from you. And that just, as long as you're authentic and you sell them really good quality products that is going to get them a result, they're going to buy from you forever. And so that's kind of like where I'm at now, to where it's like I got like business people coming to me wanting to do big deals, not even just like customers from my page. They're looking at that and they're like, wow, you're an authority now. And so like I've been able to do 6-figure deals off of just seeing like what I'm doing on social. So you become an authority there, and you're able to command, bigger prices for your services.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's so good.
Yeah. And it's not easy, man. It's a process, and you become a better person. You become smarter. Your skills get better. All those things is kind of a painful process to get to that place where, you can command those kind of prices, right? You have to, there's no like push button things where you're going to go make 6 figures online.
Totally.
It's just, I'm sure a lot of people been through that and stuff. And it's just like, you got to learn a skill, and you got to be able to essentially figure out how to drive traffic to an offer and then take their money online. And but matching that offer to the audience and having that communication be right. That's kind of like the artistic, the nuance there.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing. Okay. Last question, I promise. All right. So, you right now have 1 million followers, right? So like there's the old saying, like if you were to plant a tree, when's the best time, right? Like, and obviously like we can't plant a tree. For a lot of people, they're probably just starting. So if they were just to plant a seed today and take action today, what would you say is like the 3 steps that they would take today to be able to be on the goal to where you are right now?
I would pick Instagram or Facebook, maybe Pinterest, depends on what you sell. And I would just start taking massive action. I would create a page around a passion. I would create a page around a passion, and then I would start running ads. I would run like campaigns, like engagement ads. I would get people liking and sharing the stuff and talking about it. I would start creating posts with calls to action to like say stuff and just engage with them, talk, to ask them to post pictures, whatever, just do cool, try to cool little engagement posts.
Yeah.
And I would build your audience that way, and I would keep publishing. And at the same time, I would start a content site. I'd start a blog, and then I would start publishing content on that blog, and I would share the blog posts on the social. So you'd be pushing everybody from your social page or Instagram. And, I heard Instagram stories is like going crazy right now. And so yeah, from your social, push them to the blog. And then on your blog, you can have your opt-in, your giveaway, your content there, whatever you want. If you have products, if you have coaching, if you have whatever you offer. And then I would just continue that way. Engagement ads on social. And then I would be once in a while, 3 posts and then post 1 article, 3 posts and then post 1 video, and try to get them back to the content site.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So that's what I would do. And I would just publish consistent content around that passion and get people engaged. And, you know, if you don't have any, if you don't know what that is yet, start searching. Go searching around Facebook and looking at some of these. Look at some of these pages I'm talking about. Trump, I love yoga, I love paleo. You could do like some sports stuff. People are crazy fanatical about soccer in Europe. You know, you could look at stuff like that. You could look at like I love pit bulls. Go into some of these dog pages. People are crazy about their dogs. And go see what kind of stuff is going on in there. And that'll give you an idea of like, wow, this is what's going on. And this is how these people are monetizing their pages.
Wow.
So that's how you go in there and hack before you get started, right? You kind of figure out what's out there, what's going on, what angle do I want to take? And then, you know, then you can use those pages. You can kind of target those pages in your light campaigns too. You can go target those pages that are viral right now. And, you know, you can do, you know, fanatic pink pit bulls or whatever. And people will be like, yeah, I fucking love all kind of pit bulls, you know, and people click on that stuff and they like it. So that's the main thing. Build your audience, build it daily, get them, you know, traffic, create your own traffic through content, put your content out there. Who are you talking to? Who's your audience? Who do you want to bring value to? Who do you want to talk to? And who do you want to hang out with? You need to fall in love with your customers. Decide who you want to serve. If you're going to business owner and you have products and services that you have, decide who you want to serve and fall in love with them. Figure out how you're going to get them their result, and they're going to continue to pay you for your products and services. You know, yeah, and then just continue to publish the content there, build your audience, get them on the email list, and then sell them on email or sell them in Messenger. Don't try to sell them on social. You know, offer something, get them off of social. And then, you know, tell your story and sell them. And story selling, tell stories, you know, tell about yourself. And if you don't have stories, talk about somebody else. Talk about their story, make it interesting, you know, make it interesting.
Wow. Man, that is so amazing. What beautiful golden nuggets, man. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to do my best for you guys, man. I'm trying to pack it all into one short hour here. There's so much. It's like,
yeah. And here's the cool thing is this is, James actually said this is part 1 of part 2. And so we're going to have, is she your wife or girlfriend or?
My wife.
Your wife, yeah. So we're going to have your wife on here on part 2 very soon. I'm really excited. And
yeah, part two to all this is putting the gasoline on this is when you add Facebook Live and you bring an attractive character into the mix.
Yeah.
That's when you create something that goes from 6 figures to like where we're getting to 7.
Wow.
And you have an attractive character that's like a charismatic leader, and they're speaking and they're taking people on a journey and they're interacting with people. And that's where my wife comes in. And she took it from, I built it up to like 100,000, and then she started doing Facebook Lives and it just took off. It just went crazy.
Wow.
So that's kind of our special sauce is mixing that with the Facebook Lives.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So she'll do a whole thing about that. And that's really how we built the messenger list to 350,000 subscribers or something. It's huge.
Wow. That is amazing.
So we go live in the Facebook page, and then we'll say, hey, if you love this episode, just go into the description and click the link, and we'll send you, you know, the show notes, or we'll send you this, or you'll find out more, and blah, blah, blah. And that link takes them down a messenger sequence. Okay. So we're going live. We get all this engagement on the main page. We go live, and then we're getting to click the messenger. Facebook doesn't care because it's a Facebook link. Okay. So that's another like sauce on the reach and engagement. If you're posting other links, they're not going to like that. But if you post a Facebook link, bam, you get them in a sequence. And once they're in a sequence, you can jam all your landing pages in the bot.
What? Okay, so we would have let you go probably 3 minutes ago, which, that is so amazing. Okay, so, all right. So
that was worth it, like probably $1,000 right there.
Oh, that was worth so much.
I'm just joking. No,
for real. Okay, so Facebook doesn't ding messenger bot links, and so you're able to post those. And now, is there a messenger bot like that you recommend, ManyChat or anything like that?
I use ManyChat. I've used ChatFuel. I like ManyChat because it's connected to my email ConvertKit. So I can pull email leads right out of ManyChat into my ConvertKit list.
Okay. All right. So is that from Zapier, or how are you doing that?
Yeah. Yep. ConvertKit and Zapier integrates right into ManyChat. And so you can ask them a question and say, hey, is this the best email? And it'll populate their Facebook email right in the mini chat. And all they have to do is just click their thumb on it and bam, they're right in. That email gets pushed into the list and tagged.
Wow.
So that's kind of cool about, I think they do it with MailChimp too. I like ConvertKit.
That is so anything that I could essentially zap into like there, like Zapier is what connects it. Is that correct?
Well, it's interesting because actually like the API of ConvertKit goes into ManyChat. So it's a cleaner connection than just any old ESP. I mean, ConvertKit's cool for bloggers too. So if you're a blogger, ConvertKit's cool with automations and stuff, but that's the real reason that I use it, is because it's like pretty much integrated with ManyChat.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so if you were to start all over and build an asset now, you said you would focus on email lists, but what about a blog, like a messenger list? Do you focus on that too, or is that kind of what you need to get off Facebook?
Yeah, Messenger and email kind of side by side. Those are the two places to sell people.
Okay, so
Messenger and email. So I continue to publish, we continue to publish videos, and the call to action is, you check out the description and you can hit the link and find out whatever it is when the next time I go live. Sometimes I'll do a description. I'll be like, hey, we're going live right now. We're going to be talking about CBD and how it keeps you asleep for 12 hours and blah, blah, blah. And if you want to find out more about this product we're talking about, click on this link. Also, if you want to talk about, hey, if you want to find out when the next time we're going live is and you want to stay subscribed, click on this link. If you want to schedule a call with me to talk about your own health consultation, click on this link. So you can make 3 different things in 3 different like messenger bot flows on one description, and you can give your audience 3 different choices. Like, do they want the product? Do they want coaching? Or do they just want the PDF? Or do they just want to subscribe and get notified? And then they can segment themselves. They can segment themselves and say, I don't want your product. I just love your live videos. And then you build lists based on what these people are clicking on. So you got a list of people that all they want is the videos. You got a list of people that clicked on the PDF. They love to get your PDFs and they love your free reports. And you got a list of people that are clicking and buying the shit out of that CBD, and they're buyers. So you can push CBD stuff to them all week long.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's a diamond right there.
That is so amazing. I'm going to immediately create a messenger bot list to help grow my other lists, because I think that's going to be so helpful. Like, it's like helps you get people off of Facebook at the same time without being dinged for posting ads. Like, I'm willing to get on Facebook Live. I'll do it. Okay, so let me ask you that question. How has it been like getting in front of you guys are in the cannabis, like legalize it. Like, how is it like getting in front of an audience like that, like mentally, when people are still on the fence about it? Like, it's not fully legal, right? So like, how are you so bold
to get
to get on Facebook Live? How are you guys so bold?
Oh man, that's a whole nother art, man. It's like that's why you're going to have my wife she's the main one. And I jump on there too. But like I said, I've been from the cannabis world. So I've kind of not been in the public, and it's kind of been like, it's a little bit like anti-intuitive for me to be publishing all over. Now I'm publishing, whatever. Yeah. But so she's a public speaker. So she's been trained public speaker. So I would say, go take public speaking classes, Go take communication. It's going to pay off. When you know how to communicate and speak, that's powerful. Like, you guys would not believe. I got these guys, they want to fly my wife to Barcelona, Spain to go speak about CBD and how she's built this big Facebook audience. So when you're able to communicate, like, people start to see you and you start to have opportunities. And I can't tell you how many people just reach out to me through Messenger and they're like, hey, we saw this and that, and we're doing this. Are you guys interested? We'll fly you out. And, so we're getting lots of opportunities through, being able to effectively communicate, our passion and send that value to people and be authentic. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's not like, I don't think, yeah, it's just a thing about Facebook Live. Like, you just can't, I would just say you can't play around with it, but like, people are going to watch you if you're authentic and you have something of value to share.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful. You don't want to lose, you want to use it as the powerful tool it is. And, kind of be effective with it, right? And so I would just say that, build your page around your story, around your passion. And it's easier. It'll be easier for you to talk about. Now, not everybody can do live video, and not everybody can do video. So if you got the money, I would partner with somebody that can do video. It's just that much. If you're going to be on the internet, it's just that valuable that to be able to just kind of get over it, take a public speech class and get on there, guys, because the world is your oyster. Like, if you have no connections, boom, all of a sudden you got connections. And all it takes is one influencer like me to just bring you in and just like introduce you to everybody. And then boom, like you have all these connections now and you're doing stuff in business. And, so I would just say it's like, that's one of the things I would do, Jeff. You bring me back to that question is I'd really invest in myself and make sure I know what I'm talking about, and make sure that we're in alignment and be able to communicate good. And the world is your oyster. As soon as you can effectively communicate your message, we'll teach you easily how to get it out there with these viral videos and stuff. We can do that, but the tough part is what my wife's going to bring to the table and what she teaches workshops on and coaches privately one-to-one and does her private VIP days. And to me, that's kind of like the special sauce that takes it to the next level. Yeah. When you have somebody in the company that can really effectively communicate and bring people together to get behind a mission or a product or, whatever it is.
Wow. Man, I'm excited. I am excited for part 2.
Oh, you guys are going to love part 2.
Yes. James, you are so amazing. It has just hit our hour. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, man. Like you continue to serve this audience and the people that we are trying to serve. And so I just want to say thank you for being that forefront and taking the steps that we've all been so nervous to do and give us the confidence to do it, because you've done it, we could do it. And so
you guys can do it. Get out there. Yep. and you guys, there's no competition. Like I've got 1 million followers or something. There's probably 100 million people that use cannabis and CBD, and there's room for all of us to like really thrive off this new economy. And that's really why I'm pushing the education. I want people to learn and benefit from this plant, whether it's for health or business or however it is. I think it's awesome. So
yeah, James, thank you so much, man.
You bet, brother.
Love you, man. Have a great night.
All right, you too.